finishing up the last little message to send out as we go live. Usually I'm up here early and I'm just waiting for the clock to strike 6. But I got pulled into a last minute meeting. I was like, oh my gosh, I literally was saying like bye at 6 o'clock on the dot. And yeah, that's scary. Look at 6 o'clock on the dot. I'm in my drop top. Like that's how I felt. But hey, happy Monday. I'm glad you made it, but I'm glad I made it because I didn't know if I was gonna get up here in time, y'all. That was terrifying. I usually do like a huge buffer in my schedule, and I'm just pulling my notes. I'm sorry, I'm looking away. But I usually do a nice buffer in my schedule so that I have time to, use the bathroom, check on my family, check on the dogs, get something to drink, like all of the things, so that when I come in here, I can be like laser focused on you guys. That just didn't happen today, but life be lifing. Matter of fact, if you're watching this right now and life be life, and sometimes go ahead and drop that in the comments because life be lifing. You hear me? And also tell me, hey, if you're watching, we are live right now on Instagram and our private Facebook community, LinkedIn. Shout out to LinkedIn and YouTube. So if you're watching right now, definitely tell me hello. You can even let me know which platform you're on because I can see it. We've been doing pretty good. First of all, pound the back to me. I've been showing up on Instagram, y'all. I am very proud of myself. I said I want to do it at least once a week, and I have been there. Okay, shouts out to me. All right, because if you guys have businesses and you're good on like one platform over another, you may feel the same way of like sometimes you want to be better on a platform, but you just fall short. I've been doing better. So shouts out to me. And shouts out to you guys, like I said, for being here. Again, happy Monday. For those of you who do not know me, hi. I am Corey Fonville Foster. I am a speaker, trainer, certified business coach, and I'm also the CEO of iRock Marketable Business Solutions. We're based in Virginia, in the US, and we love, love, love. Like our mission is to help small business owners just like yourselves, coaches and consultants, wanting to start, run, and scale your small business, but doing it on a shoestring budget. We do that through two different ways. We have our done with you coaching services. We have one-on-one coaching, group coaching. We even have a way for you to test it out called a Power Hour coaching session, where you can just get a 1 hour one-on-one time with me, and we can solve one big problem that you're facing right now in your business. And then we also have on the other side of our business our done for you marketing services. So if you're at a place where you're ready to relinquish some tasks, ready to delegate some things to someone else, we're here to support you with that. We do everything from logo design, web design, email copy, lead generation. The list goes on and on. Course creation. If you need it, we probably do it. So definitely, if that sounds like something you're interested in, holler at us. Matter of fact, in the description, if you're watching everywhere but Instagram, because I could not type that fast while I was trying to load up today, but in the description, there is a link if you want to book a free strategy call to talk to myself and my team about the things that you feel you are in need of, or if you just want to bounce some ideas off of us to see um, what your plans may be moving forward. Because I keep telling you guys, this is the time to start planning for 2024. If that sounds like you, I would love to talk with you. Again, free call, no contracts, no big agreements, but I would love to at least get to connect with you and see how we can support you. All right, I got that's like the housekeeping stuff. We got to get that out the way before we can get into the meat and potatoes of our talk today. All right, so every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have these fun talks where you get free, I don't even want to call it training, just free info, right? Free tips, free strategies, and we dive into different topics. Today's topic is social media mastery, cost-effective strategies to skyrocket your client base. We're going to be diving into the area of social media marketing, and not just social media marketing, but social media marketing on a shoestring budget. And we're going to talk about, just like I said, some effective strategies to support you. And the cool part is, look, I was smart, that if you're in our private community, now don't get jealous. If you're not in the community, get in the community. If you're in our private community, I am going to drop, and I think, let me see if I can do it now. I got a little free gift for you that goes along with today's talk. If I can't drop it in this second, let me see. It may or may not allow me. If it doesn't let me do it this second, I will put it in the guide section because it's a PDF. And it looks like it's not gonna let me do it like this. So I'll drop it in the guide section. It's actually a PDF that can help you set this up in your business because I don't want it to just be I'm talking about whatever. And I know I've even covered some of this material before. If you've been adamantly watching these lives, the thing is we always have new people coming in, and so I always have to go back and kind of talk about things we maybe have already discussed. And so because of that, I created like a little, if you heard information before, if you're ready to actually take some steps, there's a document for you to help you really master your social media plan, and you can actually implement the strategies we're going to talk about tonight. Fair enough? All right, if you're not in the group, you need to join us so that you can have access to it. I'm going to put it in the guide section so it's going to live there from today to forevermore. And if you're one of my clients, you know I'm going to email you. So don't worry about it. All right, so what's the first step in really elevating your social media marketing plan? The first thing you really need to do is realize you need to choose the right platforms, right? There are tons and tons and tons of social media platforms out there, and it seems like every day there's a new platform that's popping up. And I'll be honest, it can seem very overwhelming, especially if you're not a social media person. But even if you are, it's like, oh my gosh, it's another thing that I have to tune into. It's another thing I need to figure out how to make a system for. It's another place where I have to make sure I'm engaging and make sure I'm posting and figure out the best way to utilize it. It's a lot. And so I don't want you to feel overwhelmed or frustrated or even disappointed in yourself for not showing up everywhere all the time. It's so important for us to say, okay, let me be strategic about this. Because that's what business is about. It's about making decisions, moves, and counter moves. Let me be strategic about this. If I have to be on social media, because you have to, you have to, all right, as a business owner in 2023, where do I need to be? Well, let's start from the beginning. You need to remember, you need to know um, where are you already at? Because some of you, if you're already watching me, you're on a platform, right? So where are you already at, and how consistent are you being on that platform? Another thing to think about is what platforms do you enjoy? Because I was on Pinterest and Twitter and LinkedIn for a long time and never really on it. What do I mean by that? I was posting on those platforms every single day for months and months and months, and I would never log in and go and engage in those platforms. So I wouldn't consider myself really on those platforms. So where are you really at? If you open up your phone, what icon is right at the top? Are you always on Facebook? Are you always on LinkedIn? Are you always on Twitter? Are you always on TikTok? That is your preferred platform. I want you to stay on that platform and optimize it. But I don't want you to stop there. I also want you to think about where is your audience? Where are they engaging? Because wherever they are is where you also need to be. And we're going to talk more about some differences in different platforms. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and dive into it. We'll skip some other stuff. We'll come back. So, and these are going to be general things to think about. If you are like, I don't know exactly where my audience is, let me give you a little bit of info on the different platforms. So, Facebook, that's my preferred platform. I have the biggest following on Facebook versus all my other platforms. All right. So Facebook says popular for connecting with friends and family. That's the truth. That's kind of, well, it started mostly as like a college platform and then it moved into friends and family. But it's great for businesses targeting a wider audience. So maybe you're a wellness coach. Well, there are going to be people looking for wellness on Facebook for sure. Maybe you are a marriage coach. Plenty of married people on Facebook. So if you have a wider audience that is not really determined by maybe their job title or age bracket, Facebook is probably going to be a better choice for you. And it's great because people like to connect on Facebook through groups and pages. So yes, they have their individual profiles, but a lot of Facebook users also will like a business page and or are willing to join a group of like-minded individuals or people that are trying to do the same thing to find community. So if that is something that your company either can capitalize on or is an integral part of your marketing strategy, then Facebook is going to be a great place for you to set up home. Instagram, and this could be argued a bit, but therefore I still call it a younger demographic, 18 to 34-year-olds. And it's funny because I'm gonna just call a spade a spade. I'm 34. And I guess this just it's one of those like it depends on how young at heart you are. I think Instagram definitely lends itself to younger people, but also because I was talking to another marketing specialist about this not too long ago, it also is for people who like to consume quick visual um, things about a person, right? Quick visual. And the reason why we talked about it is because Threads had just popped up a little bit ago. And we were talking about the fact that everybody I follow on Instagram, I actually don't want to follow on Threads. Like, I like the visual aesthetic of some individuals and what they put out, but I don't want to hear their thoughts and things. They're all that extra that they put in Threads, because Threads is more like, I'm going to compose some thoughts about different things or ideas, and that may not be something that I'm interested in, even though I like this person visually. So it's more of, I call it La La Land. It's where people put out the best versions of themselves typically, but it is a visual platform. So if you're not somebody who wants to show a lot of things about you and your business visually, then that may not be the platform for you. It's ideal for businesses that have a lot of visual aesthetics. So you have a strong visual identity, maybe even you have a lot of products and things like that. You're locked in on visuals. So if you're somebody who struggles to get your posting together and you're putting out quotes and words, Instagram is probably not going to be the home for you. Let's talk about Twitter. I have decided that yes, I do, and I've been posting on Twitter every day for like over a year, probably more than 2 years. I don't know. Go there, find me, let me know. But I don't like Twitter because again, that when people write, they telling all their business and all their thoughts. It doesn't jazz with me. However, it attracts people who are interested in real time updates. It doesn't take but half a second for you to go quickly jot something down. Did a photo shoot today, hashtag whoever. Um, just signed up a new client. Did you guys see that latest article about this? What have you? If you have real time updates or you like to type out things versus doing a lot of visual things, then Twitter may be a great place for you. It's still a great place to share things about news, trends, and quick bites. Twitter has a smaller character allowance, so quick bites are great on Twitter as well. And it's great for industries that can give out rapid updates and rapid short bites of value. So that's something to think about. If you like Twitter, I know for a lot of people who want to be speakers or be published, Twitter's a great place because a lot of people in the media, news individuals, publishers, those kinds of people are on Twitter because they're constantly grabbing news and real time things. And they're always looking for that real time, quick content. So if that's something that you're interested in or something that you do, then Twitter is going to be great for you. Let's talk LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn has been shifting over the last, we'll say, year or so. It definitely is still going to be more of your, I call it stuffy, but professional platform. So it's for professionals. You're not necessarily going to go up there and talk about your kids, your vacations, your family. Even though those are all aspects of yourself, it is a business platform. You're going to be up there making business connections, right? It's great for B2B kind of clients, so business to business. It's great for pitching professional gigs. So if you're pitching to colleges and other like corporations, organizations, those are great. When you're trying to make some really high tier connections, it's great. It's not the best for building up your client base if you are looking for individuals that are not necessarily around their title in their business. So just kind of keep that in mind. I love LinkedIn for that connection, but I don't look to LinkedIn to necessarily bring in my clientele all the time, if that makes sense. So just kind of keep that in mind. But it's great for building authority because you can kind of show your resume laid out there for them. You can have people give you recommendations. You also can self-publish articles. I know my company does at least one article a week on LinkedIn just to show like, hey, we're out here. And also, like if I have a podcast appearance, I'll feature that in my featured section so that people can see that I'm booked and busy and I'm always doing something. Um, then we have TikTok. TikTok, look, it used to be the newest platform, but it's not anymore. But TikTok is a video only platform. So if you are not someone who is willing to produce video, whether it is live or pre-recorded, then TikTok is already not going to be for you. TikTok is really growing. Um, Sorry if you can hear my child in the background. I didn't close the door, but it's really great. If you look up the stats on TikTok, it'll say it's a lot of Gen Z. But I'm here to tell you that people of all ages are on TikTok for sure. It is a place where people really want to get to know you. This is not a place where you're going to fake the funk and just be like, I'm a coach or a consultant. Like, people want to see the behind the scenes of who you are. They want to know how you do what you do. And I think it's a great place to show that. Yes, you can get clients through TikTok, but it's going to be through them engaging with you as a person, and putting out lots of value. It's not like you're going to just be constantly selling things. If people are interested, then they can inquire more about you, but they really do want to get to know you. So just keep that in mind if you plan on using TikTok as your home for your business, as far as where you're going to focus most of your energy. It's definitely a more creative and playful environment versus like a LinkedIn that's very more buttoned up. And it's definitely a place where you're going to, again, showcase more of a personality and brand culture versus selling or building just authority like you would on LinkedIn, or having groups like you would on Facebook. YouTube, don't count YouTube out. Some people will put YouTube in social media and some people won't. Um, but you can. First of all, you can monetize YouTube. So let's stop playing with people. Um, I know people who have Patreons, or people pay a monthly subscription to get content. So just throw that out there as well. But YouTube is great. And I would say it's more so still used, and it's actually the second most used search engine after Google, which is really cool. But it's used for mostly long form video content. So TikTok is more of a short form, 1 to 3 minute, typically videos. I know they have 10-minute options, but 1 to 3 minutes is what most people are doing on TikTok. Whereas YouTube, you're going to get that 15, 20, 30 minute to an hour video where somebody's going into depth on topics. I know for me, if I really like somebody and I see they have YouTube, I'm going to follow them on YouTube, wherever. Doesn't matter where I first initially saw them, because I know on YouTube they're going to be able to give me a lot more deeper value. There's content on my YouTube that is not up here. My podcast lives on YouTube. My visual podcast lives on YouTube, I should say, along with lots of these talks that I've done, trainings, etc., live on YouTube, so people can get a lot deeper into discussions than they could on these platforms where we're putting out little pieces of information here and there. So if you're interested in doing tutorials, deep dives, deep trainings, YouTube is definitely going to be a place where you can soar. Yes, you can put YouTube Shorts out. YouTube Shorts are actually doing really well right now, but just realize what most people go to those platforms for. All right, so those are some things to think about when you think about where you want to be and focus your time. So I do encourage you to have at least two platforms: the platform you enjoy the most and the platform where your audience is. And if you can handle more consistently, then add to it. But don't try to be on everything all at once, because then you're not going to be up there consistently. Yes, yes. All right, so again, that's the idea of like quality over quantity. Don't spread yourself too thin, because I've seen it happen and I've even done it myself. All right, so let's talk about creating the engaging content, because I told you where to be, but I haven't told you what to put on those platforms. And I'm gonna give you options, because there's more than one way to get to the end, figure out what's best for you. But just remember, some things that are going to be important are your captions. You don't want to be posting things if you can help it without captions. I try my hardest never to do that. But the caption is going to tell people the kind of the context around whatever the piece of content is that you put out. So maybe you're putting out a short reel on Instagram. Well, still have a caption kind of explaining like what's the next step. There should be a call to action, right? A CTA. What do they do once they watch it? Why should I watch it? Who is this piece of content for? So even if you go to if you're watching me right now, go to any of our posts, they have captions where they're giving you a little bit more than whatever that piece of content is sharing. It's giving you context. It's giving you something to take some steps to take after. Any platform that utilizes hashtags, you also want to utilize those. And I'll be honest, the jury's always out. That people change their mind, but the powers that be change their mind all the time between about how many hashtags you should use, especially when it comes to Instagram. They used to say max out, now they're saying around 13. Use the hashtags that you feel comfortable using, guys, and use them appropriately for what the content is. We've tried in the past to make like specific hashtags for our brand to say like these are the only hashtags we're going to use, and I found that that falls flat because the topics will vary, and somebody who's looking for a specific topic is looking for that topic, and so you don't want to just put generic hashtags on everything, but you can have some hashtags that do connect people to your brand. So I like lately I've been trying out iRock Biz with a Z. And I was like, okay, I think I want to make this kind of our one of the hashtags that we use consistently. So that if somebody's looking for me, they can find me. But if they're looking for coaching, if they're looking for consulting, if I'm talking about social media, we'll use social media hashtags. If we're talking about budget friendly strategies, I'm putting those things in. So just make sure you're thinking about that when you're putting your content out. What hashtags are you using? Are any of those hashtags trending? And also, sometimes it's actually more beneficial to not utilize hashtags that are way too big. Like it'll say like a million people using this one, because sometimes you won't show up to the top of that market, and then people won't, they'll miss you even if they're looking for that hashtag. So just be cognizant of that. You got to play with it a little bit and see what works for you. You want to make sure that when you design your content, I always tell people don't put out content without at least a picture, because there's just too much in someone's news feed um, for them to stop and know what you're talking about without some type of visual cue. So make sure that all of your content is eye catching, but not just eye catching, that it's on brand. Like we live in the world of Canva, and they even have a free version of Canva. Get yourself on Canva. It doesn't have to be fancy, but it should be branded, right? We talked about brand identity before. Make sure that people can recognize and associate your content with you and your brand. And make sure, if you can, like if it's in your zone of genius or if you can outsource it, make sure that it's eye catching so that people actually stop and take notice. All right. You definitely can leverage user generated content. So basically, things that other people have said, text messages people have sent you about how amazing you are, or wins they've had, videos that your clients have made, reviews, testimonials, things like that. Those are user generated pieces of content, also known as UGC for short. Um, and those are all things that you can do. And then you want to also make sure that you have a various types of content. So that can be you have text in your content. You can do 2D graphics, pre-recorded videos, live streams, carousels. Oh my gosh, the list goes on and on. You can do so many different types of content, and I just want you to think about that. Like, don't say, "Oh, I can only do graphics," or "I can only do video." Very. We talked to an Instagram specialist, and I thought she was going to say now that it was when reels really started to be popular. I was thought she would say, "Well, just do reels all the time." She actually said, "Don't have a straight reels heavy Instagram." She said, "Vary it up. Have some still 2D graphics. Have also reels, and have live streams as well, so that people can engage." Because sometimes if it's too many reels, people will have to actually click on it to know what you're about. Versus if at least there's some graphics that can quickly glean an idea of what your page is about. So just keep that in mind. Depending on your platform, you'll have opportunities to not just post kind of in the feed. You also have stories. We talked about reels. And those are extra pieces of content. You can also do things like carousel, where it's a piece of content, like a 2D graphic that has multiple pieces to it, which is really nice because you can kind of do some fun things with that content. Now that you know, look, the types of content, let's talk about what are you putting in that. So we know we can use video. We know we can have, well, I should say just video, but we have short video, long video, pre-recorded video, live streams, 2D graphics. Heck, you can do all kind of other fun stuff, infographics. The list goes on and on. But what kind of pieces are you putting in those pieces of content? Well, you can have things like educational posts, teach somebody something, right? We know that we need to be putting out way more value than just sales types of content. So educational content, behind the scenes, people love behind the scenes. Get ready with me's, what I did in a day, OOTD, these like what I'm wearing. Well, I shouldn't say never, but I'm not doing one of those. But yeah, behind the scenes, they want to know what's going on in your life. How are you doing what you're doing? Customer success stories, quick tips and strategies. Give them updates on industry news and trends. I actually saw one of my clients, proud of you, girl, TikTok. I think she just got on TikTok, to be for real. Uh, and I saw her, and she was talking about a recent thing in the news that was related to her business. So shouts out to you. Look, shouts out to you, Maria from Autism in Black. I saw the TikTok. I follow most of them. I think I got all my clients. Sometimes they'll get on a new platform and I won't know until it pops up. But I was really happy with that. The TikTok was great. Follow her on TikTok. But yeah, she used industry news and trends to add content. You can do questions, Q&A, polls, surveys, and then just share additional resources. Maybe it's not something you made, but something that's beneficial that you came across. I know in our private community, I found out that you can get Canva for free if you're an educator, and I have a lot of educators who are my clients. I was like, oh, this is great. Another coin saving strategy. You can give them tips for overcoming challenges related to their business or related to whatever challenges they're facing. You can celebrate milestones. You can do product demonstrations or walkthroughs and things like that. If you have a tangible product, or even if it's a digital product, showing people. I have clients who have like replays available or vaults and things, and they'll show like, oh, this is the vault that you'll get. So don't be afraid to show people some behind the scenes of what they can expect if they purchase a product from you. Comparison posts, testimonials, reviews, and motivational, inspirational content. Sometimes you just want to lift people up. Those are things you can put out. And the goal for this is, and we talked about it many times before, is kind of building that know, like, and trust through social media. Because this isn't for the sake of doing it. This is to make sure that you're building a community that knows, like, and trusts you, and that converts to sales. All right, so that's what these strategies are for. So I want you to build a loyal following by engaging on social media with these individuals who are prospective and current clients. So you're going to make sure not only are you posting, but you're engaging on the platform. The algorithm knows. So if you're just posting from wherever, then it's going to know you're not really engaging on the platform. So make sure you're engaging. Give it, a good 30 minutes every other day-ish, if you can, and engage on the platform. But also, if people are commenting on your posts, engage with them. Let them know. Like, that's the whole point. Oh, excuse me, you can reach out to, like, some people aren't people that want to type comments, but maybe you see that they've been viewing your stuff, or they've been hearting or whatever your stuff, or maybe they're a new follower. Send them a DM. Say, hey, welcome to the family. See, you liked a post. I would love to chat with you more. Like, take the initiative to connect. I love those kinds of messages in my inbox when I join a group or I like something. They're like, hey, see that you've been engaging. Thanks for that. Wanted to just check in, see if I could be of service. I'm like, oh, thank you. That's what's up. So you do the same. Some things you can do kind of to up the ante once you're consistent on social media is you can boost posts. So if you're not ready to go and do a full ad on one of these platforms, you can just boost a post. And I would say boost a post that's already doing well and just boost it to a bigger audience. You can do some affordable social media ads. And I'm going to do affordable in air quotes, because if you're going to do ads, you really do need to have a little bit of something behind it to make it worth your while. You can also leverage micro influencers. That's pretty affordable. These are people with some decent following sizes, especially if you don't have a big following. But these aren't like your Jackie Inas, like the big ones. These are people that have 10,000 or so followers, and that their audience are people who would most likely be people you would want to do business with. Like, don't go and see a soap maker with 10,000 followers, but yet do marriage counseling. Like, it does not make sense. Their audience is not your audience. So just make sure it's going to make sense for your brand. But you can reach out to them. A lot of times if you reach out and say, hey, do you have a program to share or do a collaboration, they'll give you some rates, and they're sometimes pretty decent. Just know your budget, know what you can and can't do, and shoot your shot. A lot of times you'd be surprised how that pans out. And if you're on Instagram and you've been doing business, I would be shocked if somebody hasn't already reached out to you to let you know that you can spend a little bit of money to talk to their followers. Just do your research and make sure, again, that their followers are people who would purchase from you. And then you can also make sure you're collaborating with other businesses. that can support you on these platforms. And also, don't be afraid to do podcast features. A lot of podcasts are visual, and so they are going to be on your YouTube, on your Facebook, on your Instagram, and those are still great opportunities. Even if it's not a podcast and it's a live collaboration, those are fun as well on social media. So those are just some things that can help you. Now, something I didn't talk about in great detail is the fact that this may seem like a lot. I'm asking you to be on platforms. I'm asking you to put out really good content. I'm asking you to be consistent and engaged. But you can make this work a little bit more manageable by batch working. We talked about that before, batch working this stuff. So sitting down and writing all the copy. Well, actually, comes before you even write the copy, coming up with a strategy. What do you want to do? What kind of content do you want to put out? Who's your target audience? Really understanding all of that. And then once you figure out who you're talking to and what you're going to be talking about, go ahead, sitting down and writing up all that content. And then once you write it, getting either doing it yourself or getting someone else to create these visual pieces of content, and then either you or someone else publishing it for you. If you're in the private group, I actually put that document together that walks you through all the steps. I believe it's about 8 or 9 steps in there. Um, Let me see. Do I have it saved as a PDF? Let me see if I can share it here for you guys. Sorry, Instagram, I don't have the ability to share it with you guys, but let me see. Hold on. I think I saved it as a PDF. I'm just trying to see if I can at least let you have a look. Yes. All right. Yes, it's coming up. So I will let you glance at it. If you're in the private community, you'll be able to download it. I will. Oh, that scared me. Sorry, it was my dog. Yeah, y'all, I'll be having heart attacks in here. Here we go on the screen. So it's several pages, but it's a cheat sheet for you guys for maximizing your social media content engagement. As you can see, it walks you through understanding your audience, picking those platforms we talked about. So you're basically putting together the strategy. It gives you a list of the types of content you can put out. It talks to you about creating the copy. It gives you the types of content you can create. So you can actually put together, say, okay, let me go back one. You can actually say, okay, I'm going to do stories on these things. I'm going to do carousels for this. I'm going to do infographics. I'm going to do polls, surveys. It breaks it all down so that you can really put together a strategy. Um, it tells you different platforms you can use, affordable platforms to actually schedule these posts, and then it talks to you a little bit about looking at the metrics and analytics, and then adapting and evolving and making some adjustments. So that is available to, and I went through it fast because if you want to see it, you need to be in the group. But it walks you through kind of putting together that plan, a strategic plan for putting out your content. Because, like I said, I know I've talked about it in the past, but I feel like it still can sound like a lot. But I promise, if you sit down and just go through the steps, you can get it done. And it really could be something you take care of in a weekend. I'm just going to be honest. You can take care of most of it in a weekend besides like your live content. So it doesn't have to be this thing that lures over your head all month long. Like, oh my gosh, every day I have to get up and post this and do that. You can schedule this stuff out for the most part. Like I said, well, actually, you can technically schedule lives too, but I do encourage you to do those live. But yeah, all these things can be done. And so that means you can actually focus more of your time on connecting, speaking, coaching, consulting, writing your book, whatever the case may be. And all of these things can kind of work in the background. Okay. Or if you're outsourcing to a VA or a company, my company actually does this for our clients. This whole process, we come up with the plan, we write the content, we create the content, or if it's a video, we edit that content, we schedule and post it, we write the captions, we do your hashtags and all of that. We review it with you every month and make adjustments as needed. So this whole process we actually can take care of for you. But if you're in a place where you want to do it yourself, like I said, this PDF will at least help lay it out for you in a way that makes sense so that you at least have a place to start. All right, guys, with that being said, that is our talk for today. I hope you learned a little something and you enjoyed it. Again, if you look in the description and you say, you know what, Corey, I need to know more. I need a plan of my own. I do encourage you to book that free call. No pressure. I am not one of those sleazy salespeople that's like, buy this, buy that. I love having real talks with real people about real issues and real solutions. And if we can help you and you find that we're a good fit, I would be happy to work with any of you. If you find that you want to do it yourself, I'd be like, let's see it. I want to see this. I want you to keep me in the loop. I want to cheer you on and keep you motivated. I want you to share in the group your successes. And that's okay too. It's perfectly fine. There are plenty of things that I did myself, and there are plenty of things that I outsourced. There are plenty of things that I started off doing myself and that I no longer do by myself. It's okay. We're all in different places, but I would love to be even in the smallest part of your journey. So please do book that free call. We will be having another well, actually, we have lives every single Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I encourage you to come on in. You can RSVP in the Facebook group or on LinkedIn to let us know that you're coming. And give me one second. I just want to make sure I get all these updates for events coming up. So we had our talk today. We have another one next Monday. And then next Thursday, well, not next Thursday, it's August 24th. We have our masterclass with Misha. She is a market research specialist. And so she is going to teach us how to utilize market research in our small businesses so that we can make more informed decisions about how we can best market our own businesses. And then on August 25th, we have our second ever iRock Q&A networking party where you can actually come and talk about your business. Because that's what I like. I like you to come talk about your business, what you got going on. If you need referrals, tell people. It's a great time just to connect. It's not about me at these networking parties. I'm here if you got questions, but I'm more so here just to facilitate an opportunity for you guys to share what you do. And actually, in our private community, and I'm sorry that it hasn't been posted. I need to talk to my assistant. Every Sunday, I want you guys to share again what you do. I don't want to see, and I've been loving, I've seen it has increased people posting about their offerings and what they do. It doesn't have to be about me. I'm here to help the people that I'm here to help, but there are plenty of people that can benefit from what you do as well. There's enough out here for all of us. So every Sunday, please feel free to share. If you're new to the Facebook group community, please go ahead and introduce yourself because we want to know who you are and what you do, who you help, and how you help them. So that if I know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, we can get you that referral. All right. With that being said, guys, I'm going to leave you for today. Remember, I rock, you rock, we all rock, and I will see you guys soon.